we're going to go ahead and move on to our next portion. Nina Simone's Mississippi Goddam.
Hound dogs on my trail, school children sitting in jail, black cat cross my path. I think every day's gonna be my last. Lord have mercy on this land of mine. We all gonna get it in due time. I don't belong here, I don't belong there. I've even stopped believing in prayer. Don't tell me, I'll tell you. Me and my people just about do. I've been there, so I know. They keep on saying go slow. That's what they say, go slow. That's what they say, go slow. That's what's the trouble. So, washing the windows, so, picking the cotton, so, we're nothing but rotten, so, we're too damn lazy, so, our thinking's crazy, so, where am I going, what am I doing, I don't know, just gotta do your very best, stand up, be counted with all the rest, everybody knows about Mississippi.
I can go ahead and pull up the lyrics for Mississippi Goddam, actually. And, you know, my favorite is when she performed this in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when she said in the beginning, this song is called Mississippi Goddam. And because I mean every word of it. She said, Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn. Alabama's gotten me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn. Can you see it? Can you feel it? It's all in the air. It can't stand the pressure much longer. Somebody say a prayer. Alabama's gotten me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn! I'm going to leave it at that right now. I had to say that with some emphasis because, and it's funny because, like, you know, she was prefacing when she talked about this particular song that it's a show tune, right? And it has like this whole da, 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 jazz hands, right? And then you listen to the lyrics and you was like, oh no,
Yeah,
put your jazz hands away.
mm-hmm.
Put your jazz hands away. What was your impact? What was your feeling of it? Like, you know, when you first heard it.
So I've always my introduction to Nina Simone came with the song For Women, which is, oh my gosh, that's another, oh boy. I'm not, are you familiar with you're familiar with For Women?
No, I am not. And thank you because this is a whole nother song that I'm going to have to listen to.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. How about that?
Yes, you will. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
It is a picture of 4 different women, Negro women. My skin is black and my arms are long. My hair is like wool and my back is strong. Strong enough to take all the pain that's been inflicted again and again and again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. Mon nome è Aunt Sarah. My skin is yellow and my hair is long and straight and long, 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 between two worlds. I do belong, I do belong. My father was rich and white. He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name is Saffronia. Mon nome is Saffronia. My skin is tan, tan, and my hair's all right. It's fine. My hips invite your daddy, and my mouth is like wine. Whose little girl am I? Why, yours if you got some money to buy. I meet you in Cannes later. What do they call me? They call me sweet thing. They call me sweet thing. They call me sweet thing. My skin is brown, brown, and my manner is tough. I'll kill the first mother I see. My life has been too rough. I'm awfully bitter these days, because my parents were slaves. What do they call me? My name is Peaches.
So there is a it's been performed by a few jazz artists, but you have to listen to Nina Simone's version or the original. It's very, I mean, all of Nina's music is very powerful, but I remember by that time, you know, always knowing she was revolutionary.
Yes.
And you know, for her, of course, you know, and Nina Simone is just like her what people call energy. Just she was unmatched, especially for her time.
Very ahead of her
but
time.
Yes, very, very much ahead of her time. And you know, I was just like, you know, I mean, for me, it was so on brand for her. And I remember because she passed away in 2003, so she lived quite a while. And so I remember when she was I grew up listening to Sunday morning classics with Hal Jackson on WBLS in New York.
Oh wow.
And so that was our church, right? You know,
Yeah.
I grew up listening to it, and they actually interviewed her live, and she performed it live there. And of course, I was always enamored with Nina Simone's voice,
Yeah.
and you know, it's very, very, you know, of course, it is a part of the epitome of protest music, and the fact that, yeah, goddamn Mississippi. I mean, it's like, you know, of course, Mississippi being one of the worst states, you know, when it came to civil rights and protesting. And, you know, and then Nina Simone was from the South, you know, she was from North Carolina, but, you know, it said a lot for her, you know, to make that song. Just, oof.
Yeah, I mean, there was you remember the movie Mississippi Burning.
Yep.
And there was a reason for that. I mean, like, this is where I believe that's where the gentleman who went to Mississippi specifically to help people register to vote.
Yes, there were. Yes. Mickey Schwerner and Andrew Goodman.
Yep, both killed. Mickey Schwerner was it was 3 of them, right?
Yeah, James Chaney, who was local. He was local to the area. Well, interesting fact. My mother-in-law, my late mother-in-law, and her family are from Philadelphia, Mississippi. And shortly after that murder took place was when they left and moved to New York. But yes, it's very much that is the town where it took place, Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Yep. I mean, like, and it's, you know, it's interesting about Mississippi specifically. During the slavery, Mississippi actually held the most millionaires in the country. And those were specifically plantation owners, because there was a lot of export of cotton and indigo specifically going to England, which was like, and cotton at that particular time was the gross national product of the United States. And England was a big purchaser of cotton because they basically made all of their cloth out of it, specifically from the United States. And so when you can just imagine now that 1863 happens and you get the release in January of the Emancipation Proclamation. And then you have a swath of your slaves leave the plantation and go fight in the Union Army. And the reason for you to lose from the war is because the slaves left the plantation to fight in the Union Army, because the Union are losing at that particular time. And Mississippi, as you said, was one of the worst states when it came, especially during Jim Crow, which was after Reconstruction, when it came for lynchings, when it came for even putting Black folk back into some type of slavery when it came to sharecropping. You know, I encourage everybody, if you get a chance, to watch the movie Sinners. I know that, like, some people were a little bit adverse to it because they said, "Isn't that a horror flick?" And I was like, yes. But
there's a lot of historical fiction there that is very, very relevant.
Yes.
The one thing that I say that I've said for a long time is that time period is what horror movies are made of.
Sure.
If you like even the movie Candyman.
I just like to preface that my last live, I said that I was probably going to rename the show from The Roots Matter to Rabbit Holes. So continue.
Yeah. So there are, you know, when we talk about music and when we talk about, you know, like the protesting and the storytelling of what was going on back then, there is so much in the way of, you know, it tells a very important story, especially of what was going on back then. And I mean, just on, even without the vampire element of Sinners, a horror element, that was a horror movie in itself, what the folks were going through.
Right. Weren't getting paid real money. They were literally getting paid with wooden nickels.
And also the opportunity for advancement was met with violence.
Yep.
It was met with folks who would burn down businesses,
Yep.
who would kill people rather than to see them succeed. So it always amazes me when we hear folks are like, well, why aren't they pulling themselves up by their bootstraps?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you look at stories like Sinners, and if you haven't seen the movie and you actually see what was attempted, that was actually quite commonplace.
Yeah.
So
I want to bring up one scene to Sinners, and trust me, I'm going to tie this back to Mississippi Goddam. It's the character that Delroy played.
Delroy Lindo. Mm-hmm.
Right, Delroy Lindo. Yes, thank you. I want to call him Delroy Roy so bad because I believe that I have a cousin named Delroy Roy, and they're both like a Caribbean descent. So there you go. Excuse me. So his character, it was like one scene where they were passing a chain gang.
Mm-hmm.
Chain gang. This is basically people. If you're unfamiliar, there was issues concerning convict leasing. This is when convicts or people who were in jail were lent out to the state or to plantations or to wherever in order for them to work on different projects, whether if it was picking cotton, if it was working on roads, building bridges, the whole nine. They basically were used, and they didn't get paid for that. That is by design, because that was the loophole that was in the 13th Amendment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that particular time, you had a lot of, Black men that would be picked up for, not having a job in vagrancy. They would charge them with vagrancy, and then they would give them a felony, and then they would make them go to jail, and then make them put them back on these chain gangs, right? So in this one scene, Delroy was in the car with Michael B. Jordan, and also the other young man whose name escapes me at this particular time, who played Preacher Boy.
Yeah, Miles Caton or Catan.
Yeah.
Who, fun fact, is the son of one of my high school classmates.
Yes, and also was a background singer for her.
Yes.
And so like they were passing this chain gang, and then he said, "Hey, slow down," because I think there was one of Michael B. Jordan's character that was driving, and he screamed at those men. He said, "You all keep your head up. You hear? You all keep your head up." And then one of the men screamed back at him, and then next thing you hear is like a shot that was in the air from the overseer, basically, who was basically telling them to get back into line. Michael B. Jordan asked Delroy, I think that was Smoke, right?
I think so, yeah. No, it was
Stack.
Stack.
It was Stack.
Yeah,
Stack asked Delroy, do you know them? And he said, I know every one of them. And he started to recount a story of basically how he would have been one of them if one of the other people that he was with did not take the fall for both of them. Mm-hmm. And also it was his talent for his music that basically got him out of being in jail, because they liked him playing the blues. And one of the things that he said was, white folks love our music, but they don't love us.
Mm-hmm.
And then he talked about how one of them was killed, and how they were, and how they were lynched brutally. He remember one part where he said, hung him to a tree and took his manhood. That means they basically, castrated him.
They castrated him, yeah.
And then, and the trauma of that came back so hard on him that all he could do was hum. He's like, And then the way that he did it hit him. You could feel it hitting him in his heart, to the point where he would just hum. And then he just got to the point where he was like,
Still got one more stop tonight. Raise them up together. Oh, my Lord.
Slow down.
Well, I can't hold me. Well, I can't hold me. Well, I can't hold your hands now. You hear me? Hold your hands.
Hey, you lose some of them?
All of them.
What happened?
Me and my buddy Rice. His husband back and forth up the Delta. We get busted for vagrancy. And white sheriffs take us down to the jailhouse. It's empty. They're for sure they're gonna kill us that night. You get us our instruments back, they tell us to play. Stack we played, preacher boy we played, you hear me? Music was coming out the windows. People on the street was stopping to come on in. Next thing, one of them sheriffs, they get the bright idea they're gonna take us on the road now. They cover us, throw us in a paddy wagon. They take us to this big house. I mean, it's full of white folks. Pass around, they had to have us to play. See, these white folks we were playing for, they're real money.
Had y'all playing them old ragtime songs?
Yeah, that sure was. We playing a fair amount of blues, too. See, white folks, they like the blues just fine. They just don't like the people who make it. Rice said he was gonna take that money, going out to Little Rock, start him a little church.
Did he?
The damn fool. He took out all his money to pay for the $2 train ticket. Train conductor saw him. Clan got a hold to him. Searched his pockets to find all that money. Made up a story about him killing some white man for it and raping that white man's wife. And then lynching right there in the railroad station. You know they cut off his manhood.
Got that guitar in your hand, don't you, boy? Yeah. Come on now.
Hey!
And he just started hitting his leg and giving it a beat, like of course, like I'm doing an octave higher than he is.
Yeah.
But that was the thing that created the blues.
Mm-hmm.
It was the trauma, the very thing that was happening at that particular time to Black folk who were basically assaulted for living. And that song itself, Mississippi Goddam, basically was a reach back to the atrocities that was happening to Black folks at that particular time. I mean, like you like voter suppression was like horrid at that particular time. I mean, and then they used to have like those when they were doing those hysterectomies on those Black women.
Oh yeah, that was the quote-unquote father of gynecology.
Yeah, Marion Sims, and I mean, but like even like if there was like anything like maternally or like womanly wrong with women specifically of color that were in that area, they would basically take your uterus.
Mm-hmm.
It was specifically called the Mississippi appendectomy. That's what it was called. And matter of fact, that was even something that happened to Fannie Lou Hamer. Yeah, and that's the reason why she never had children. And a lot of times that they would take these women's uteruses, and they never told them.
Yep.
So there was definitely a lack of informed consent. So many layers. Layers. And I mean, so like, Tennessee, especially like if we actually look at when Mississippi Goddam was written, they happened in March of 1964. So this is after the heels of these of the civil rights March on Washington. that and matter of fact, according to AI, thank you, Gemini, she wrote this song as, not just like a response for racial violence and injustice specifically, but it was mostly about what happened at the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in Birmingham and the murder of Medgar Evers. So, so just like looking at that specifically, and I believe that if that's the case, then I believe that Medgar Evers did get killed in Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yes, Medgar Evers was born and raised in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And he is one of the most unsung. He's very much celebrated and in Mississippi. He was murdered. I actually had the opportunity when I visited Jackson, Mississippi for a wedding to visit his home where he was murdered. Yeah. And yes, he was very, very influential in the civil rights movement, and he was a part of the Mississippi NAACP. Yeah. And so, of course, back then it was extremely dangerous to be an active, attorney, but that was what he was dedicated to. And yeah, he was shot and killed in his home in Jackson, Mississippi. Medgar Evers. And that was one of the worst, that was one of the most noted murders from the civil rights movement, the murder of Medgar Evers.
Yeah. He was killed in his driveway of his home. Yep. Yeah. He was assassinated by a white supremacist sniper as he stepped out of his car after he was returning from a long meeting that they were having to organize, and so that was her response to Tennessee got me upset, Alabama got me in a wreck, I'm so at unrest, but Mississippi, goddamn, that's just something that you just did not have to do. You literally killed this man because he wanted equality for Black people. It's crazy.
Yeah.